Good morning, everyone. My name is Leandro Baldenegro. I am the council member for downtown Glendale in the Ocotillo district. We're on the roof of the temporary offices. The very first day that I came to work with the city was up here. They had a Rolling Stones event. They had a band of some teenage kids, and we were going to do like a renaming event across the street. This is where it all began, really. As far as me coming to work, we're going to show you the community center. We're going to show you where, kind of the neighborhood where I live at. We're going to show you downtown. Pull me aside and said, "Sir, we want to apologize. We thought this job would change you, and you're still the same. A year ago to today, you're still friendly. You still care. You don't care if it's the governor or the mayor or the janitor, because you say hi to the janitors every day when you see them." And I always tell them that's just how I was raised. Whatever compliment I get is from my mom and dad. My milestones are their milestones. So every day is not typical. It's not always the same. I'm kind of try to give you a day in the life of what I do, where I go, what I can show you, what I can't show you, and things like that, and then just kind of give you a glimpse into all of that. Hopefully you'll understand a little bit more, a little bit better, and then you'll kind of get an understanding more of me. We're going to kind of show you a fun parts of what I do. Are there some ugly, bad parts? There's some serious work we have to do as well, and that's usually just behind closed doors and stuff like that. But what you see, or what you're going to see today, of how I'm doing, how I handle business, that's how I am every day. From the janitor to the assistants to the mayor, residents, business owners, every single day. Other outside agencies that aren't with the city, but they help us. For people visiting Glendale, it's all about, what can we do to make this place better. I hope you enjoy this video. We'll have a good time. We'll have some fun, and I look forward to doing this for you.
Hello.
I'm all excited to see you.
Oh yeah. You ready to smile for the camera?
Is it on?
Yeah.
It's gonna break your camera.
I know.
You know.
How are you? Good morning.
Good. Abuelita.
I know.
I forgot about that.
I'm one of them now. I love it. It's so much fun.
It is
Uh-huh.
very much fun.
Mhm. He's such a cutie pie. I love him. Ace. Anthony
8
Ace.
months? How old is he?
He's 10 months now.
10 months?
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I remember taking that picture.
No, you should see him now.
Oh, yeah.
Picture of Nana, Virginia.
Where?
This right now. Right here. I think that's she's holding Adrian right there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Oh.
Where's one right now?
Where's my Theo?
He's lazy.
Oh,
I'm
being
gonna tell
lazy
him
today.
You're here.
Oh, just to say hi. Yeah, it's okay.
You're in good hands when you hang around with this little super baby.
She's in trouble.
She was going to
She go to
School of,
like an art school,
yeah.
performing arts.
Yeah, she was. It was her high school that she was going to.
I left your car in front of the house. So keep an eye
Have
on
a
it.
good day.
Bye, Mom.
I'll take care of him.
Thank you. He needs that.
I need that. On the left, I mean. Everybody calls it different things. I call it the Squirt Factory. Some people call it La Fabrica. Some people call it the Beet Sugar Factory. It's been around since early 1900s. Historical landmark. It is for me, like when people say, "Where do you live at?" 51st and Glendale. Oh, by that big red brick building? Yeah, right there. Okay, so they know exactly where to go. One day when I win the lottery, I'm gonna buy that building.
What are you gonna do with it?
Well, I got big plans. I don't want to share them just in case.
Got it.
Hal's radiator has been there way long time, and their catchphrase is "best place in town to take a leak," which is hilarious. And no one's ever complained. No one's ever said you can't say that. It is what it is. Kiss the Cook, so everybody goes there. It's a famous restaurant. There, a lot of people go there. Now we're coming to La Purissima Bakery. This is by far the best bakery in all of Glendale, easily, and I'm gonna say best bakery in Phoenix. Some people can argue with me, but they'll lose that argument. So we used to work together.
You guys ever get the burrito, sir?
Good,
Dude,
red one?
Yeah, red one. Yeah.
I used to smell them all the time. I didn't get one. And then I said, oh, I'm gonna get one for my dad. So I got one. Yeah, you like that? He goes, yeah, Purissima used to be back over here behind McDonald's. It was a small little place.
I think I remember.
It was really hard to get in and out of it. So when they moved, like the entire city was happy. It was going to be easier to get in and out of there. The community center, drop off this bread. It's funny, growing up, people call it pan dulce, sweet bread. But growing up, we called it pan de huevo, like egg bread of eggs. I don't even know why we call it pan de huevo. But our family calls it pan de huevo. The Gamboas, they called it pan de huevo. I love calling it pan de huevo. So whenever we say, what are we gonna do for dessert? Let's go get some pan de huevo. Pan de huevo's good. But like, common phrase is pan dulce, sweet bread. But we call it pan de huevo. We just always had. I don't know why. But our family's like one of the last original families from the neighborhood, especially on our block. I think there's only 3 or 4 of us left, original families. The park's down here, Clavelito Park. Other park coming up is Vetarano's Park. We just renamed it. We're going to have a big Veterans Day celebration coming up. We're going to install 3 flags. We're going to have the mayor come out and give a speech. Some people from Luke Air Force Base. It's going to be a real big event. It's been going on for 10 years. And these poor veterans weren't getting the help they needed to make this thing happen. And some people reached out to me and said, hey, now that you're on the council, can you help out with this? I'm like, sure. So when I found out what they were doing, I realized, oh man, you guys are not getting the help you need the right way, because there's certain things have to be done a certain way, and they weren't getting the help, and it was making things like drag on longer and longer and longer. So not that I did the work, I helped open the right doors. I helped start the conversations to help get this process done quickly. I'm glad that I've been able to, just working with the district, the city district, the city departments, working with like kindness and open mind, and asking them please and saying thank you, and being very like helpful and just friendly, that they want to help me. They don't want me to fail. We're just gonna stop at the community center right now. Gonna stop and say good morning to the senior citizens that are in there. A lot of them know my family. First time I walked in there, they didn't know who I was, so they're kind of skeptical, and like, and they said, your last name is Baldenegro? I was like, yeah. Do you know Mundo? Like, yeah, that's my uncle. You know Chewy? That's my other uncle. So who? I go, my dad's Gilbert and my mom's Tony. We live on the corner. Oh, we know who you are. And as is with this community, as soon as they figured out who I was and who I was related to, immediately we're best friends. So now they welcome me in, they get excited to see me, and it feels really nice, because it's not like I'm the councilman. It has nothing to do with that at all. It makes me feel like I'm their grandson, or I'm their nephew, or I'm family. And they kind of absorbed me in. And I was here not too long ago with my assistant, and they were playing bingo, or loteria, really. The lady won the prize, and then she came back and she got the prize, and she handed it to my assistant, Jenny. She goes, here, Jenny, this is for you. And Jenny, being just the sweetest girl, she goes, no, that's your prize. You want? She goes, no, Jenny, you're with us now. And that's how it is in this community. When we accept you, because you're good. You're with us. So you're always welcomed in for a hot plate of food or whatever it is. You need help, this and that. You're with us now. And that's just how it is. So let's go say hi to them. We'll see how it goes. My mom and dad got a kick out of the... My sister's rolling her eyes. My mom's, oh, look at me. You're a big shot. You're a big hunter. I don't know about that one.
That's so funny.
I gotta stop by another one. I know there's another one that's low on books. Look at you.
What's up, man?
So the funny thing about this crowd, good morning. For whatever reason, they the council, so they jump up like I'm the judge. It's really, really funny. It's Brittany with the normal reddish hair,
Yes.
but sometimes it's blue and purple. And there's another Brittany who has also blue and purple hair sometimes.
Yes.
Donna, who's here?
This is Donna. She's one of our
Donna?
part-time staff. Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Donna.
Yeah.
Hola, hola, hola. Hola, hola, hola. Hola, una cara de pan dulce.
Thank you so much.
Muchos conchas.
Go get some napkins and then go. How your mom?
Good, good.
Ready?
Bien, bien, bien. Bien cansado.
If you have time Thursday, you're supposed to have a
Where it says that bar, real park up here, kind of faded out. So we'll be replacing this with the brand new, exact same sign, but it's gonna say Vetarano's Park on the top. It'll probably have the newer city logo. I'd like to have the city shut down the streets so that cars can't pass by. Have some, at least one food truck, maybe two. Set up tables, chairs for a lot of people. I don't want just like my dad's a veteran, but it'd be nice to have my dad and all his kids there, all his grandkids there. So for all the veterans that lived in the neighborhood, and I'm thinking from Glendale to Grand Avenue, from 59th to 51st, so that kind of triangular pie wedge shape. There's a lot of guys here. They're from this neighborhood, still here. They're veterans. Matt Madrid, Eddie Ronquillo, my dad. There's just a lot of them. So we want to honor them. Some have passed, some are still here. I'd like to have the highest ranking official at Luke Air Force Base say a speech, the mayor, Mr. Wire, say a speech. I'd like to say a small speech. Probably sing the national anthem, have the color guard from Luke raise the flags, and then just have a good day of celebration. So that used to be a store a long, long time ago, an active store, like the neighborhood store. I remember walking, when my mom would drop me off at school, and she'd pick me up, for preschool. We'd walk by, and every now and then we'd stop and get a soda from there. So Mr. Aguilar. A lot of people call him Fuji, Refugio. Mr. Aguilar owns the store, owns the property. Everybody knows the store is based on the murals. They've changed a little bit from what they originally were. I'm friends with his son Jerry, and originally there was no Arizona Cardinal in the mural. That wasn't there. Other things have been added that weren't here originally, but this has been kind of like touched up over the years. And I want to say that the I don't know who's an artist, but like later on the guy came back and just touched it up for free. This is one of those places where they're from the neighborhood. They drive by to come to say hi to friends, or whatever. They usually stop by or swing by the store here. And this neighborhood, I believe, is still zoned. At least that's what it was told to me, that every house in this neighborhood is zoned that they could have a store in their house right now. I don't know how accurate that is, but so I know, like. My sister Diane, her husband Ray, Ray's family, we'll drive by the house, is an older 2-story house. I guess the lower level was a store. The Almanzas lived there. And Ray Almanza, my brother-in-law, told me that the bottom was a store. And I never knew that. I guess it was just, they had already passed to become something different. So then his uncle lived next door, Tommy Almanza. We all remember Tommy. He passed away not too long ago. He was a real good dude. And then the people that owned the store we were at lived in this house with the arches. I remember thinking that was a real fancy house with the arches like that. Like, you just didn't see that very often. So we're coming up to what used to be Gumbo's Bakery. So where that silver van is at, that kind of greenish kind of house, that's where the bakery was at. So the room in the back was kind of like where they had the bakery. It was just like I said, you'd walk up and the man would have his oven back there, and it was just, again, we all smelled it, smelling fresh bread baking in the neighborhood. It was just a really, really good smell. And then, like I said, that good memory I have of him giving me my own. My parents had 6 kids. We didn't have the luxuries that other kids do or families do right now. But I mean, gave me that work ethic to work hard to get to have what I have now. But it used to be the Winchell's Donuts, and this Caramba come up right here on the corner of the White. And Caramba's good, man. They got good food there. But they used to be Winchell's Donuts. Like, this used to be a gas station right on the right. Long time. That's the first time my Aunt Priscilla took me there one time. And that's when I found out what full service was. And they would come and fill your gas tank up. That's long gone now. But back then, they would fill your gas up. It was kind of funny. Tasty Freeze used to be right there. Filiberto's is that. Now that's Filiberto's. Tasty Freeze and the Shanty, like a seafood place. And then Pete's right there. But Pete's used to be originally over here on the left, the light. This place right here in the corner, that used to be Keg Beer. What'd they sell there? Kegs of beer. That was the only way they sold. Pete's used to be right there. The original one here, Glendale. And that Pete's used to be, you could phone in your order. And during Lent, when it's the busiest, you call in your order, they'd say, I'll see you in 45 minutes. No problem. You drive up, and it was like, you have to wait in line. It was awesome. Auntie M's Miniatures on the corner here on the left used to be Ken's Pharmacy. So Auntie M's right here. And they got pedal cars, old G.I. Joe toys, stuff like that. But if you want to go in there, I went in there recently with my assistant, do a short video to promote her business. And they're the only dollhouse miniature store in Arizona. I didn't know that. There's banks on the right. Family Advocacy Center on the right. That's a really important place because that's where they, like, domestic violence, crimes against kids, and just really, really, really bad, like sex crimes and all that. They handle it in there. They got a great staff of detectives. And what used to be Camarón Gigante, a long time ago, this used to be Glendale Welding, and it was the oldest continuous business in Glendale. Like, it was like 1947 until maybe 2000. So after that, it became Desert Rose Steakhouse, and it went through then it became a Horny Toad Bar and Grill or something like that, restaurant. And most recently it was El Camarón Gigante. I met the couple that ran it, Jess and Karen. Really nice couple. They were doing the OASA events here, on the Sunday afternoon events here. And me and my brother Jimmy, you guys know me, you know who Jimmy is. We came to an event back in January, and it was cool. They did it right. They had a lot of security, but I think the problem was that it was just too cool because everybody was coming. I think they were hoping for like 300 or 400 people, and I think that one event had like a couple thousand. It was just crazy. It was big. A lot of lowrider cars, a lot of lowrider trucks. Like I said, my brother Jimmy, if you guys don't know him already, he's white. He's not my brother. He's just a real good friend of the family. I call my white brother Jimmy. But I think one of the coolest things was like whites and Mexicans and Asians and African Americans, and we were all just hanging out. The music was good. There was, you could buy food, you could buy drinks. It was a really chill, really cool vibe. As with any place you have these kinds of events, you're going to run into problems here or there. Usually they're isolated events, and sometimes I think nowadays with social media, those events can get a lot more attention quickly. So without pointing fingers or anything else, I mean, there was a tragedy that happened on Cinco De Mayo weekend. I was at my house, a few blocks from here. I was in the back of the house. It rained that weekend. I just got home from a restaurant Sunday night. I'm doing my laundry and kind of had the back door open, and I hear what I thought were fireworks, just regular firecrackers, which isn't uncommon here in this neighborhood. So then a few minutes later, I hear police sirens again, which is not uncommon here in this neighborhood. And as I'm folding my laundry, I hear a helicopter flying above, which is not normal. So I go outside and I look, and there's a helicopter flying above the house, and it's just parked above my house, facing west. So turned on some TV, get ready to go to bed, because I'd be up at 4:30 to go to work the next day. And about 8:30, I start getting all these text messages. My assistant, my former assistant, a deputy city manager, and I didn't realize what was happening. And that's when I got onto Facebook, and then I saw the social media just explodes. I'm like, oh man, that's not good. I hope everything's okay. So they kind of gave me some information, basically what they knew at that moment. Somebody reaches out to you, just let you know. And my stand was always, and has been, I won't say anything until I know all the facts. Never ever give bad information or misinformation. Make sure that the information is verified. And once it's been verified, make sure they verify it again, so you don't give somebody the wrong story. You can ruin lives, you can break hearts, you don't want to do that. When I drove by the next day on the way to work, I usually drive by Lamar, and I couldn't because the street was blocked. Go down Glendale. This is many hours after the incident happened. The streets are blocked off, there's still investigation, and I was like, oh man, something really bad happened. So I was worried that maybe somebody had passed away. And then when I got to work is when I heard about it. And I looked at a video online and showed like somebody inside the event. It was a big fight. The security guys were going and breaking it all up and stuff. So when I got to work, I was pretty upset because there was a guy who was on the city council, and he knows about this thing that happened. He comes in my shop. He said, what are you going to do about what happened? I said, what do you mean, what am I going to do? He said, you need to shut that place down, and you need to do this and that, you need blah, blah, blah. There was no security, and they let guns in there. And I go, no, that didn't happen. I pulled out my phone, I go, look, there's a video of somebody took him. Those guys with t-shirts, back of the shirt says security. There was security there. I go, I was at an event not a few months behind, and they warned you. They check for metal. So they're very, very stringent about that. I go, I don't know the whole story. I don't know what happened. I am not going to make wild accusations and say something like this. He kept on saying, well, the lowriders did this. It was the lowriders' fault, and it was this and that. And I go, look, hang on, let me just say something. He goes, my niece was there. My niece was there. Okay, cool. Is she okay? Is she get hurt? He goes, no, she's just really scared. I go, okay, well, good. I'm glad she's just scared. I'm glad she didn't get hurt. But let me say something else, and this is the most important thing. You don't know the lowriders were involved, but you're already saying that. You don't know that guns were inside, but you're already saying that. I just showed you proof that that's not the lowrider scene based on what the video is. I just showed you proof that there is security there, but you're already saying these things. Let me make it perfectly clear. You're saying something out of emotion because your niece was there, and I get it. Now I just showed you proof and evidence that what you're saying isn't accurate or true. If you continue to say it, I will tell everyone that you're lying. Like so many people online are doing, that's on you, it's not on me. I'm going to be very, very careful, because apparently 3 people have lost their lives, and I am not going to say something wildly irresponsible and insensitive to make things worse. This is how This is how it was before social media. This is how it was before the internet. But before you started saying anything, you made sure what you were saying was accurate and true. A lot of people don't take responsibility for what they say in there. And that's just downright criminal in my opinion. I still feel bad for those two families who they still lost loved ones. Regardless of what those boys were into, it doesn't matter. They lost loved ones. And that's something that I will always say is that I didn't know those kids, I didn't know those boys, but I was somebody's brother, somebody's son, somebody's friend, and I was never going to jump in front of the camera from the beginning and choose sides. One of the last things I want to talk about Cabrón Gigante that I think a lot of people don't know. The owners, Jess and Karen, you can call them owners, you can call them operators. I think their dad owned the business, but they were running it. You can call them whatever you want. And when this whole thing happened, Karen and Jess were just beside themselves. They were so upset. They were sad and upset, and they didn't know what to do. They were like just in shock, like literal shock, emotional, physical shock. And I didn't want to reach out to them. I didn't want to reach out to them too quickly. But when I did, I said, situation, it's obviously still fluid, it's still happening. So I just want to check up on you guys, see how you and your staff are. Yeah. Jess reached out to me a few days later, and he said, "Hey, I want to do something for the people that were here that night, and I want to get grief counselors, priests, grief counselors, anybody for free. We'll pay for it. So if anybody was there that night and they're still shooken up and scared and whatever you want to describe it, we want to be able to help them." And they were planning that. They were lining things up and stuff. I had told the police chief about that, and they were concerned like maybe something bad could happen. Just in case. They wanted to make sure, so they kind of postponed it. But that's the kind of people they were. Even after that tragedy, and I've been to places, Club Rio and other places, other like local bars where something really bad happens. We just changed the format. We played rap and hip hop. Today we're country. Keep bringing that money in. It's all that mattered. It's all that mattered. It's all that mattered. That's not what mattered to them. What mattered was that the people were safe, the people were getting help. And so the fact that they were willing to pay for grief counselors and priests and other people to come and talk with them for free, for me, really, really showed what kind of people they were. My condolences to both families. I hope that I hope you've been able to find the time and the way to grieve for your loved ones and your friends and family of the people that passed. The people that were there that night, I hope you understand that it was an isolated incident. We're not a city of crime where this happens like every other week, like in other bigger cities around the country. Glendale is safe. Downtown Glendale is safe. It's a safe place to be. Me and my dad still walk around the block. He's almost 90 years old. We still walk around the block. We don't walk around the block scared. We just walk around the block comfortable because we are where we are. Downtown Glendale is still safe. I hope you guys take that into consideration when you come back. Help us keep it safe. You see somebody doing some dumb stuff? Well, I don't want to be a snitch and call the cops. You need to stop saying that, okay? Because that's just stuff for the movies and for TV shows, saying I want to be a snitch. Just say it, because if something really bad happens to your family or friends, I guarantee you would want help. You would want somebody that saw something or heard something to tell the police. We're going to have events coming up soon. I want you to come back and feel safe. You see me walking around, introduce yourself, say hi. Tell me how you saw, if you saw on my newsletter, we have videos, but also, for this little documentary on YouTube. If you see me, stop me and say hello. If you know Angela, or if you know me, or just whatever. I want to meet more people. I want to hear your story. What you saw about this video, how it affected you, good or bad, how it helped you, good or bad. I want to help. I like to hear that so that I can get better. Every little bit helps. There we go across the street, State Farm Stadium, home of the Arizona Cardinals. And right here is our temporary office for a council, for the city manager and some other offices, our assistants. So let's take a look inside and see what else I got going on in here. But you'll see I have a routine. When I get out of the elevator, it'll be Ann, Derek, communication guys. Ann's first, communication guys, and then Derek. Morning, young lady. How are you? Good. How are you today?
Good,
How's your day going, man? Good.
Good, yourself?
Good. Morning, sir. How are you today?
How are you?
Derek, you're back to work, sir?
Wow.
The lights are off, so now I'm gonna turn them on.
Just bend the rules. I'm like, no, we. No.
Meow.
Oh, murder
I
you.
think it's against the law in all 50 states, Joe. You can't do that.
Hello there.
How are you today? Good. Ready for today? Yeah, I just got a text message from Anna from APS. She goes, hey, we're going to have a blah, 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 and you're at table 3, and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, okay, cool. I go, do I need to dress up? She goes, no, it's just casual. Yeah, I
love
don't want to dress up. Yeah, wait, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. It's got vents. Sam's Club. Gotta get one. Gotta get you one. There you go. Tell her to take you. Tell her to take you.
Who turned on the lights?
Amiguita. Bam. How you feeling today?
Hello. Mejor, gracias.
Jenny.
Hello.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. I think it was last year for the Lowrider show, the super show. Were you here when it rained? So it's move-in day. All these lowriders are coming in on trailers, and it was pouring rain. Now there was guys that had expensive trailers, covered trailers, and so they didn't have to worry about that. But you saw guys coming in with open trailers with their like $100,000 lowrider, and you're just like, you couldn't help but feel so bad for them. But yeah, you could see them coming in, and but yeah, this is a pretty cool view. Jenny, let's, if you got, what time is your meeting with Amy? Are you guys already done it?
We are not going. She rescheduled it.
Oh, you want us to buy your shirts for you?
Yes, I'm for.
They're gonna say
Not on
Council.
camera.
They're gonna say Councilman. They're gonna say Councilman Baldenegro.
You're so funny.
Cut.
Sponsored by. There you go. We touched a little bit on it yesterday, but I'm thinking some more stuff I wanted to talk about the Veterans Day event. Econ Dev is the one that has all the tables and chairs.
Okay.
So we need to reach out to them and making sure that that we will be able to have their help with that. I think we need to find somebody to sing the national anthem. Local, and then their media platforms. They'll be, hey, I'm going to do an event in downtown Glendale for veterans. I'm going to sing the national anthem. If you're in the area, stop by. The ranking official, Luke, they give a small speech. The mayor reads a proclamation, and then I read a small, real short speech.
This office is very community focused, and we are always talking to residents, and we're keeping up on social media so people know what's going on with the district and different events happening. Very focused on downtown Glendale, trying to get people back, people to visit downtown and spend their time there, to try to get residents' questions answered or concerns that they have. And they'll call our office for questions that they have about irrigation or trees or, different problems they have.
Sometimes their question is, what district do I live in? They don't even know.
Who do I contact
Who do we
for
contact,
for questions on my water?
Your favorite kind of ice cream? Because people want to know.
Oh, my favorite ice cream is Cold Stone.
Oh,
Cheesecake with brownie.
wow. What's your favorite song?
Any Taylor Swift song.
Anything else we need to cover business-wise?
No.
You're the best. You take a nap on the drive over than the bus. This is for the auction across the street. Desert Diamond Arena, that gives me like access to the suite over there. What was this one? This was for Glendale University. That was there's a program called Glendale University that the city puts on. It teaches you about all the city departments. That's what she says. So because you weren't there, but did your parents or your other relatives tell you about Y2K? And how everyone was so scared about it? So it was a legit thing for a year. City map with all the different districts. I'm Ocotillo. So it's kind of got weird cutouts. That's Northern, Grand, 75th, Glendale, 71st, Orangewood again, back up to 75th. So this little cutout is for the other district. Like I had a guy call one time and he was complaining about a situation over here and we took care of it for him. And they said, by the way, that's not our district. So he's like, well, why'd you help me? Because you're from Glendale and you called me. Why wouldn't I help you? Some of these are really cool from like all over the world. Japan. I have some from Italy. Really good friends of mine, but all over the world. They've been bringing me magnets, which are great. Some are bottle openers as well, but they're all magnets. Small part of the collection here. I'll obviously move this back to when we get to the city hall when it's all being rebuilt. Construction should be done maybe like March, or we should be moving back between March and April next year.
So that'll be coming up probably in a month. You'll get a nice invitation, like formal, and you'll know when to come down.
Perfect.
And it'll be in our studio.
Love it.
Just giving you a heads up.
Do I got dressed up?
We're excited.
Do I got dressed up?
A little bit dressed up.
All right,
yeah.
well, as long as you let me know.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll tell you attire and all that. Okay,
Thank you,
good.
Steve.
Okay.
That's your thing.
Oh, that's cool. That's dress up.
Wait.
Don't dress up. Hola, ¿cómo estás? Sue Bredding. Sue Bredding is our communications director. She was like local TV. She's been on locally for like many years, and then I think she kind of, I don't know if she retired, but she kind of stepped away, and then we hired her, I don't know how long ago, to be our communications director. Super nice lady. She's been on local TV for a long time, so she's always just really nice, and she's in charge of all the whatever videos that the city puts out. It's her team. She's a director for the department, so she's the one that does all that stuff. Let's go this way. I want to see that maintenance lady got hurt in an elevator. ¿Cómo estás? Yo leí que algo pasó con el elevator. Sí. Híjole, me dijeron que qué pasó. Que cayeron como dos.
Es que iba para la terraza.
Ajá.
Y pero un solo.
Oh, sí.
Un solo. Fue horrible.
Híjole. ¿Pero estás bien?
Ay, ando nerviosa.
Okay.
Me da nervio.
Sí. Okay.
Todavía, gracias a Dios, se abrió la puerta.
Okay. And like true stories. She's more scared than hurt. So I saw her like, hey, how you doing? That's when she kind of got a little emotional. She was, I'm still scared about the elevator. And that's when I asked her, do you want me to go down with you? She goes, yes, please. Like, let's go. So that's why I did that. Just because she's part of the team. She's part of the team. So he's got a lot of things that people have given him over the years, plaques and awards and thank yous and stuff like that. So he's got the footballs and.
He's gone to my mom and dad for like yard sales all the time.
He lives around the corner.
Yeah. Okay, I have seen him and met him a few
He's a nice guy. He and I have a lot in common. I don't know if he wants me to share this with you or not, but like, he was born somewhere in the Midwest, and they moved to Glendale. Well, they moved to Arizona. I mean, he lived in Maryvale, and then he was sharing with me like growing up, simple life. You know, they didn't make a lot of money, but they made ends meet, and then how to just the family cohesion. And some of the little things I'll keep private that he shared with me about. And I was like, I did that when I was growing up. Like, just simple stuff. I'm like, okay. That's one of the things why I like the mayor so much is because he can relate. He shared some private things with me about his personal life that I never shared with him first. And I thought, oh my God, I did the same thing. So he's always been very good to me. He's treated me with respect. He's treated my dad with respect. He always tells me, hey, how's your dad doing? Mayor Wires gave my dad a challenge coin. He explained it and gave it to my dad. My dad still holds on to it, and so it's really cool. Like those kinds of things, for me, you want to win me over, be nice to my mom and dad. So Mayor Wires he's always been a good dude with me specifically. But he and I, relate to each other, how we grew up. And you know, he's been a successful businessman. I think I'm successful in my own right, not like him, but differently. But I'm glad that we can relate to where we began, where we came from, and where we are today. Now I'm just down the hall from him, and it's a pretty cool thing that we can relate to each other. So, challenge coins. Let me see if I can find a good one here. Let me see here. Let me see here. I'll use this one. This is a fire department one. So this is Glendale, Arizona Fire Department, Super Bowl. So they made one for the Super Bowl. So these challenge coins are made, and I didn't know anything about these until I got here. And the mayor gave me one. Fire chief gave me one. Police chief gave me one. My friend, lieutenant, a singer with the Family Advocacy Center, she gave me one. And then the police union president gave me one. So these coins are like this. So you're given one. You're never really, you can never ask for one. You're given one. So let me get a smaller one. Here you go. Here's one that's like the City of Glendale one. So it's got the logo, City of Glendale, this and this and that. Okay. So when you're given a challenge coin, whoever's giving it to you has it in their palm of their hand. You go to shake their hand, and as they shake your hand, they let go. Now it's in your palm. Now it's yours. Pat Tillman, ASU one, I gave to the mayor as a gift because I know he's really big on veterans and at Luke. So my friends at Valley Steel, they do laser cutouts, and so for the F-35 that's based out of Luke Air Force Base.
That's cool.
I was like, oh, I'll get that for him. And what's really cool about Valley Steel, the company that does that, the person who owns it his name's Brent Bernstein. Brent Bernstein played football at ASU with Pat Tillman, and he's like this tall, his hands like this, looks like a bear. Super nice guy, and he is like literally a gentle giant. He's a nice man, very soft-spoken. He knows I'm an ASU guy, so we're always chit-chatting about this, that, and the other. And he's a really good dude. So Valley Steel, 75th Avenue, and Olive. Having that concert, they had like a kids band, and they played. That was my very, very, very first day after being selected to be on the council. Was up here. They had a band there of teenagers, chairs, and they're videotaping all that. And then we renamed the road there for a Rolling Stones song. I forget the name of the song, but it was cool. This is kind of like up here. So like I come up here now and then. You can see Top Golf. Watch your step right there on the platform. Andretti mini kart racing. That's a cool place. That's a really cool spot. You can see all the way to South Mountain, the Estrella Mountains. So there's Westgate, all that stuff, all the fun stuff, and then there's the arena. So you'll see like Chris Stapleton was here for this concert a week and a half ago. So there's like 8 semi-trucks of all his stuff parked in this parking lot. And then in their loading dock, there was like 7 more. He's got that much equipment. He's got a lot of stuff. He puts on a really, really good show. In this parking lot right here, the Fiesta Bowl has a real big Fiesta Bowl party. Big giant tent, a big stage for music, food and drinks, and just hanging out, having a good time. We went to that. That was real fun, and then walked across the street to check out the game. So my mom was born in Mexico, in a little town called Agua Prieta. My dad was born in what's now Sun City, but back then it was called Marinete, a little small. I think it was unincorporated at the time. Now it's Sun City. So I don't know. Some people say I'm first generation. Some say I'm second generation. I don't know. All I know is that I was born here, Phoenix General Hospital. So um, some people ask, well, how did you get into the city council? A couple of things I had to requirements is I had to live in the district, I had to be a registered voter, and the opportunity came up for me to be able to through an application process be on their council. I was selected from several finalists, and here I am. Um, I take it pretty seriously with the work I do for the citizens and for the residents, for the business owners, and for the visitors that come in and just passing through or come and hang out in Glendale. So it's important to me. There's a couple of things that the people, for the people that really, really know me, they know two things will always be the same. I'm a Sun Devil. That's always going to be that way. And I'm a Glendale boy. I will always be a Glendale boy. I hit the lottery, I'm still going to be a Glendale boy. I'm not moving out of Glendale. Glendale's my spot. It's where I was born, it's where I was raised. It's where my story begins. It's where my story is going to end. I love Glendale. So I think I bring what's necessary to the story for the council to understand, so they can relate, so they can understand my perspective. My family specifically, both sides, who grew up in Glendale. And so it's important to me. Went to Isaac Imes for preschool. Went to Our Lady Perpetual Help in Glendale, the church school, Catholic school, first to eighth grade. Went to Apollo High School. And then I went to ASU for a couple of years. Took a class at Phoenix College, took a class at Glendale Community College. Though not a college graduate, I believe I'm college educated. So it's important for me. It was important to continue my school. I got tired of asking mom and dad for money, for the gas money or go to the movies. So I started working. Worked retail for 12 years and then landed a really, really good job with the school district, Glendale Elementary. Been there for 18 years, and then now I have a part-time, full-time job with the city council. So a lot of my life revolves around Glendale. It always has, and to this day it still does. So my two jobs are downtown Glendale. I'm excited what the future holds. I'm excited where I came from, and I'm excited for what we're going to continue to do. And I said what we are going to continue to do is not just all me. I'm not doing all the work. All of you are doing the work. I'm glad to do it for you guys. I'm looking forward to like your comments, your feedback. I'm looking forward to like this whole thing when it's all done. And this is just a small glimpse of what I do on a council day. I want to clarify something. I said something one time at a council meeting, and somebody took it the wrong way and continued to repeat it. Let me explain what I meant. I said one time that I have to get used to this new councilman lifestyle. I don't know if they meant that like I'm out hobnobbing, drinking brandies and smoking cigars and having lobster dinners. But that's not at all what I ever meant or intended. But my new lifestyle with the council is on Mondays, I work my 10-hour shift at the school district. And after work, I come to the office for about an hour to have a meeting with Jenny, my assistant. I go over emails, phone calls, whatever, or plan other projects. Tuesday, I don't work at the school district, but I go over the city. So it's a longer day with the city. Wednesday, 10-hour shift with the school district. After work, you just stop by the office for an hour or two, sometimes even longer. And that's my new lifestyle where I'm in constant contact to make sure that things are getting done when I'm not available physically to be there because I'm at my other career job with the school district. My days off are split, and I'm going to be committed to that. I have been. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not easy, sometimes it's hard. But it's a commitment I make, and I knew what I was getting into before I got into any of this. I knew what I was getting into. So I'm committed to this. I'm loyal to this. I'm loyal to the city, loyal to the school district, loyal to the community, loyal to obviously my family and my close friends. I'm committed to being honest and truthful about everything. Giving you the whole story, not giving you just half the story, because people that don't, people that just, for me, I want to give you the whole story. So that way you make an informed opinion or conclusion about whatever we're talking about. If I only give you the half story, it's going to look like I'm hiding something. Come ask me. Just come talk to me. We have several units here in my district that we're building as affordable housing. Some people say, well, it's still too expensive. It's still this. It's still that. No, I don't know. I haven't looked into it in that sense. But I have heard people say, yeah, it's perfect. I love it. I need it. It's exactly what I need. Glendale High School right here. My dad went to high school there. He left his senior year a couple weeks early so he could go join the Army. So he could send money home to Mount Virginia. He gets there, Fort Benning, Georgia, and they say, if you join the paratroopers, you can earn more money. But here's this 17-year-old kid, never been anywhere, Fort Benning, Georgia, decides to join the 82nd Airborne so he can send more money home to his mom. That was the mentality back then. 17-year-old kid. It says City Hall being rebuilt over there. And when it's done, it's going to be beautiful. We took a tour of it yesterday, and I got to see where our offices are going to be at when we move back in next year. When that's all said and done, that building will use between 50 to 70% less electricity to run that whole building, which is amazing, which is a huge money saving thing. I saw the renderings and the work they're doing. It's going to be a beautiful building. So I look forward to that. The amphitheater is going to be amazing. I look forward to everyone being able to enjoy the amphitheater. I know construction is very inconvenient and it's just in the way and it's hard because you got Glendale glitters and just going back and forth and just regular daily commutes to church or their work or to wherever. It's a pain in the butt. I get it, but there's no good time for construction either. But it's almost done. So I'm pulling up to Glendale Avenue right now. I'll be taking a left going down Glendale Avenue. Where the past several years we've had a lot of cruisers coming down, and that's great. I got no problem with cruisers. I used to cruise South Phoenix back in the day, and but I also, in my opinion, did it the right way. Didn't make any trash, didn't break any laws, didn't do this or that, So as far as cruisers go here in downtown Glendale, I don't got a problem with them, but I also expect them to obey the law. Don't be doing stuff you shouldn't be doing, like blocking the intersection or, going to the bathroom right there behind the building. No, we got to figure something out. There was some talk about getting some of the clubs, the car clubs together and talking about what we could do. There's a lady named Marisol who's in charge, or she's in charge of the Arizona Cruising Council. We've had a couple of meetings, her and I, just privately, her and her husband. Cool. Nice lady. And I've heard good and bad about her. And the bad things I've heard about her is that, how can she be a part of the Cruising Council? She doesn't even have a lowrider. How can she do this? Okay. And my answer is this. She started that because she cared. She started that because the police were coming down here and they would say, they just thought all these lowriders were all in the same car club. So they'd say, hey, are you in charge here? No. They go to the next guy, are you in charge here? No. So there was nobody in charge because it wasn't just one club, it was several clubs. So she decided, she took it upon herself to start the Cruising Council. It was so that she could kind of organize more, to get the information out, to work with the police and work with the city so that the city wouldn't kick them out. So they could work with the city to make sure that, they had a opportunity to cruise and to not to ruin it. So I like that about them. And I would like to, she's going to try to set up a meeting between me and several of the car clubs so we can talk and say, hey, look, I'm willing to work with you guys. Maybe we can figure out a way where we can get porta johns out here and we can do this, we can do that. So you're not going to the restroom behind the building and you're not doing stuff. But the fact remains is, no matter how you look at this is still a city. This is still a public area. So you can't be doing drugs out here. That's illegal. You can't be drinking alcohol out here. That's illegal. You can't be, doing donuts in the middle of the road. That's illegal. You can't be doing all kinds of silly stuff that's going to ruin it for everybody. So don't. If you want to cruise Glendale, cruise Glendale. Do it within the rules. Do it within the words of the law. If you can do that without causing trouble, without making a mess, without leaving trash everywhere, whatever you do, cool. I have no problem getting a group of departments together to figure out a way that we can help you, like, figure it all out. Like, if I got to put more trash cans out here, I'll put more trash cans out here. If I got to do more police patrol out here on bicycles, we can, eventually we're going to get to that too, because I already know the police are talking about doing that, but, and if you guys just, I hate to say it like this, if you guys just behave, we're cool with it. We'll be fine. But there's always those people. Usually it's a visitor from out of town or from a different part of town. They're not from Glendale. Sometimes they're not even from Arizona. And they come over here and they ruin it for everybody. And that sucks. That sucks. I mean, it's unnecessary. And they don't care because they leave. And you're here to suffer the consequences. And then that's when the police start getting stricter. They start getting tighter of restrictions and all that. That's when the city comes and says, okay, we're done. We're done. And then the cruisers say, but it wasn't us. It wasn't us. It was somebody else. Cool. We get it. But that's your opportunity to point that out to the police. That person's not with us. For me, I just don't cruise like like when I was a kid. But there's nothing wrong with that. If you cruise and you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the whole country, the whole lifestyle. You guys spend tons of money on your vehicles and you guys are just keeping it real and keeping it safe. I'm cool with that. And good for you. I say this often. If we can teach a kid to have a hobby, like fishing, or in this case, customizing vehicles, if we can get them into that hobby at a young age, they will never have the time or money to get into other bad things. So do I think cruising is bad? No, not at all. Do cruisers commit crime? No, cruisers don't commit crime. Criminals commit crime. It has nothing to do with their cruisers. The people made the choice. It has nothing to do with what they represent. It affects everyone that they represent, but that's not what it is. Similarly, like to the late 80s and early 90s where skateboarding was not a crime, neither is cruising, neither is lowriders. Being in that community is not a crime at all. I'll say that to the very end. That's just the way it is. So I'd like to have Aurelia, and I think it's the second time I've said your name, maybe the third, and other car clubs reach out to me. Maybe we can put a link down below, or look me up, City of Glendale. You can just find my search me Baldenegro, Ocotillo District. You can find my contact information. Let's sit down and talk. Maybe I have simple solutions to whatever the problem is, and maybe you're like, that sounds great. Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that, but we're going to have expectations. You're still going to have a good time. You're still going to show off your cars, listen to music, have a good time, but you're going to have to follow the rules. And the city's not going to overlook those things. So if we can follow them within, and just to do it so we can just, be on the same page about this, and you get to cruise, you're not getting picked on, you're not getting, singled out. I think that's a win-win. We get what we want, meaning everyone has a good time, everyone's safe, everyone's following the rules, and you get what you want. Show off my car, show off the hard work, spend time with my family. I support it. Very few people ask me about it, but I support it. They make conclusions about, oh, he doesn't like them. I've never said that. I've never once said that. I wish that more people would come and approach me and talk to me about, my opinion on cruising and everything. Oh, I'm gonna tell you a funny story about that tree in the background. Right where you're looking at. This is legit real story. That tree used to have a tree house. Now this little building right here says body shop. Used to be a barber shop. Now as a little kid, I hated getting my hair cut. And so growing up, I'd watch, TV with my dad and World Beyond on Saturdays and Tarzan and all that stuff. It was just, fun. And my dad goes, "Hey, Tarzan lives in that tree with Cheetah. If you go get your haircut, I bet you'll see him." Like, really? He goes, "Yeah." So we'd come down here and I'd be looking up at the tree, like, holding my dad's hand, like looking up. And again, there was a lot more wood in there for the tree house. And my dad would be like, I guess Tarzan's not here today. We'll come back next week and get another haircut and we'll see if we can find it. Okay. And it's a funny thing, the thing we tell our kids, or kids in general. I don't have kids, but the things we tell little kids so that they'll behave. So it's just one of those things. So I never did see Tarzan in that tree or Cheetah, but every time I drive by, here on the left is the chapel, Guadalupe Chapel. And they used to be, so the original chapel was built with like stone, like river rocks. There's pictures of it. And then they, I think it burned down, or somehow something happened. It was destroyed or really damaged. One of the things that for me means a lot to me is, I mentioned this earlier, my brother Jimmy. So Jimmy and his dad and his other brother did all the wiring for the chapel. That was their contribution as members of the church, was to give their labor and time to wire that chapel for free. Because, they just, there wasn't a lot of money to go around for that. So it was cool with, like, and Jim, like I said, Jimmy's white. This isn't a white neighborhood. This is a Mexican neighborhood. So for them to come in and say, it's not, has nothing to do with being Mexican or white. It has to do with, like, doing the right thing for other Catholics and all that. Coming up on the right, there's the Isaac Imes Elementary School. It's Unit 2. Everyone in the neighborhood came to this school. My mom came here. The young lady taking this video, I know her. There's a picture of her dad, a black and white photo. I've seen it. White T-shirt, kind of like greased up hair. It was a handsome young man. My Theo Fred. But this is where everybody in the neighborhood came over to this school. So Isaac Imes. It closed down a couple years ago because of enrollment. Yeah, there's just not enough kids to fill the school. But so this is my neighborhood. I don't plan to leave anytime soon. We're passing a police officer right now. One of the things I want to do, I would like to start a program called Walk with a Cop, where police officer just comes to my house whenever they want. We just walk around the neighborhood. We just walk. We're not looking for crime, and that would help people get used to seeing police cars without freaking out. We can just walk. That's all it is. Just walk. And maybe the first time people see us, maybe they still, they still just go inside the house, or they still feel nervous, and that's cool. I get it. But maybe the next time they see us, they stay on their porch and maybe they just wave this time. They just wave hello. They just wave hello. We wave back. I'm cool with that. And then maybe the third time, maybe they say hello. They walk to their fence and they chit chat with us. And then maybe like the fifth time, they join us on the walk. Where then now all of a sudden, we're walking around with the police. We don't feel uncomfortable. We don't feel scared. We don't feel like we're doing anything wrong. We're just walking around with the police. There's nothing wrong with that. So this is Clavelito Park. And I have no problem explaining how I was scared about this park when I was a kid. Some bad things happened in this park in the 70s. Some people were, I want to say at least one person was murdered. A lot of drugs, a lot of gangs, a lot of violence. But I know there was one person for sure was murdered in the park. They left him for dead. They did a lot of bad things to that guy too. Send the message. I mean, they cut off his private parts, and it was very, very, very ugly crime. And I was scared of this park. I never even came down to play basketball. I stayed away from this park. I would always go way around and go play basketball at Rose Lane Park. I think I was like 17, 18 years old before the first time I came to this park. It took a while for the stigma of that to kind of get away from it. and now it's a lot better, a lot better. Government housing over there, we call the projects. Government housing. Some people live there all their lives. Government assistant housing, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's okay. But it's part of the neighborhood. It's part of the story. No matter what anybody says, it's part of the story. Interestingly enough, that person that was murdered was found by kids that lived in the projects. They came to play in the morning, and they found the victim. Strings of connection are very, very odd because they go everywhere. I think I was in my 30s when I was talking to my cousin's former husband. Him and his brothers were the ones that found that guy. And I didn't know that was. I was like, oh my god, I remember hearing that story when I was a kid. Yeah, that was me and my brother. We found him. Person behind the camera knows those people too. So, strings of connection. Glendale was real small. Glendale's still small. It is what it is. It's just part of the story. But I don't have to like it. I'm not going to ignore it. I'm not going to brag about it either. But it's just part of the story. You know, we have to just acknowledge it and make sure we don't have that happen again. So off in the distance is again the squirt factory or the fabrica, whatever you want to call it. Everybody has different names about it. So this is a cool view, you know, of in between the projects, the government homes, and then straight ahead is that historical building over there. And one of these, again, if I win the lottery, I'm buying it. I'm gonna run a cable from the top floor to my front house, the house, and I'm gonna send notes to my mom, like what's for dinner, what's for lunch, and I'm gonna send her notes like that. They live in the projects. A lot of good people that come from the projects. I know several of them. They're good people. They weren't, you know, they didn't buy into the, you know, oh man, you know, society has left me behind. I'm just gonna start doing drugs, commit crime. No, man. There's some really good people that came out of these projects, and they created a better life for them. They've become really, really good people, good citizens, and continue to be that. And they started here. So all those people thinking, you know, especially kids, man, I got no future. And no, you always have a future. You just got to make the right choices. And it's not easy sometimes. But there are people out there that want to help you. So maybe they'll buy you lunch one day. Or maybe they'll buy you a pair of shoes or whatever it is. It's not pity. Just take their blessing. So it's not exactly how it used to be when we were kids, but that's where my dad, his mother, the camera lady, her mother, because her mom and my dad are brother and sister, their mom lived there. And yeah, I remember having parties in the backyard, and there was a big backyard, and this was back in Glendale. 51st was like 2 lanes, and there was a canal in the back, little chain link fence, so the backyard was a lot bigger. There was a fig tree on the side of the house. I remember my dad and all my deals playing poker with like nickels and dimes and doing stuff like that. And then the earliest memory I have as a baby, as a child, I don't know how old I was. So I was named after my tata Leandro. So there was one memory I have of him. I remember like all the kids running around, and I must have been, I don't know, 3 or 4. I know I was young, and I was sitting on his lap, and all the kids are running around, and he's holding me, like bouncing me on his knee. That's the earliest memory I have of my life. This was fun. I liked. None of this was scripted. None of this was scripted. I'm not reading off anything. I'm just talking, talking from the heart. You know how I feel and stuff like that. We didn't want to make this political. We wanted just to make it kind of like fact-based and stuff like that. Personal opinions was mine, nothing to do with the city or anybody. It's my personal opinions and all that. But I like this. This was a lot of fun. It would be nice to maybe join, collab with somebody, whether they're from Glendale or not, whether they live in Glendale now. That'd be great. And we could just talk about, like, maybe you have questions like, why do you guys do this? Or how is this, that? Those are great. I would love to hear those questions so I can answer them. Because I had a lot of those questions too before I got on the council. And a lot of the questions were answered. I'm still finding out more. I still don't know everything. So, I would love to sit down and talk with regular citizens, business owners, visitors. Maybe you grew up in Glendale. Maybe your grandparents grew up in Glendale, and they've all moved on. And so, and you'd like to learn more, you want to know more. Like I said, look me up, man. I'd love to sit and talk with you. We have a historical society that talks about the historic part of Glendale. We have a lot of things that we could share with you, the information. For me, this is more just getting information out. I'm not asking for your vote. I'm not asking for any of that. I'm asking, hey, give me a call. Send me an email. You want to talk about like other things in the neighborhood? Cool. I'll talk about that. I'd love to talk about it. I would love to share that kind of stuff with you. Whether it's just nostalgic because your family was here, or whether you're just like, it's for a project, for a high school project or a report you got to do for school, whatever. By all means, I'd love to help you out. So I had a good time. We laughed a lot. We shared a lot. There was some sentimental, nostalgic parts for me and the camera woman because we're cousins, and so it's a little different this time. I was sharing some things and then she remembered some stuff about our grandma's house and stuff like that. So thank you for Angela for asking me to do this with you. Thank you for everyone who's watching, listening. If throw some suggestions out. Want a part 2 with Aurelia or somebody else, whatever. I'd love to have a part 2 with other people. We'll be back. I look forward to it, and be careful, be safe, make good choices, stay hydrated.
Where'd you guys end up going?
Just to we just went around the city, and then he took me to go see his like office, his cubicle, and all that. Yeah. Huh? Hi, Theo.
Did you eat that?
Yeah.
Fritter. Oh, come back.
What did you do all day?
We just this. Drive around and talk. And we went to Purísima. This is funny. So we went to Purísima.
That's the first stop.
Acá en la próxima.
Aquí en Purísima.
La
¿Y
panadería.
aquí?
No. That's
Acá estaba en la próxima acá.
what?
Ahí que estaba yo.
85th? Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think it's something different. I think it's called something different. But anyways, went to panadería aquí, Purísima. And then he goes, City of Glendale is way better than City of Phoenix. I'm like, oh, that's cool. And from there he went to the community center with the viejitos. Dropped off the bread, they were all excited. And then Ray's house and then
Taking pictures, you can see.
saw the assistant and everybody.
We went camping last night.
That's when I turned 50. There was like
50.
85 of us there.
Wait, was I at this one?
There was
I don't think
2
so.
years ago next month. It was
Oh, there's Monica. Oh, there's my mom and Monica.
yeah, Monica were there.
See, Leandro. How funny. Let me see this.
She was in the elevator on the 4th floor. She got in to go down, and it fell 2 stories, and it scared her real bad.
Did it knock her down?
I don't think it did, but I think it hurt her back a little bit.
Oh, yeah, well.
It scared her real bad. So this is the first time I'd seen her today. I said, hola, ¿cómo estás? I said, ¿qué pasó? She got emotional. She would start crying.
Mm-hmm.
You're here. You're good. You're okay. And then she goes, I just have a hard time now. And I go, do you want me to go down
She's
the
gonna have
elevator?
anxiety now.
She does. And I asked her, I go, do you want me to go down the elevator with you? She goes, yes. Would you? Yeah, of course, yeah. So, yeah, so but, I was glad we were there at that time because I could ask her, hey, you want me to go down with you?
Perla.
Yeah. Just look at me and Monica right there too. At
I know.
Gloria's wedding.
I saw. Oh my God, Monica was so young right there.
It's a good picture.
She looked so little.
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, wait. Say it again.
Daddy. She took that picture of you.
When we were in the park, she was the one taking the
I know,
pictures.
I know you don't remember, but and she took that one too.
No.
We were at Saguaro Ranch.
Yeah, that's what I remember. Nathaniel when he was little.
I don't remember.
She was taking the pictures.
You don't remember?
You remember
No, pretty soon he's gonna forget.
the room, and I'll be like, Dad, did you eat? Yeah. What'd you eat? Sabe? I don't know. You just ate, Dad. What you forgot? Yeah. We'll see something funny. We'll end it with this.
Okay. Okay.
Denny, look at the camera and say magician.
But you did.
That's magic. Oh, hey, look. He went to the Chris Stapleton concert. Look at his hat. Yeah, your hat, Dad. Denny, your new hat. You should look at your hat.
No.